Ben Affleck's recent hit Air,
the most competitive guy I don't know.
About the signing of Michael Jordan to Nike.
You're gonna win championships. It's an American story. We love you again and again and again.
Not starring Michael Jordan, starring Matt Damon and Ben himself. Released in theaters and now on Prime. How will this exclusive spoiler review favor the movie about shoes? The exclusive Jordan 1s. Feel free to like and subscribe, and let's find out. So in terms of Ben Affleck's unforeseen hit, this movie seemed to come out of nowhere.
Michael Jordan, we got a movie.
He announces he's going to do a movie about Jordan, not starring Jordan, because Jordan's too much of an icon.
I show you somebody and tell you like, hey, that's Michael Jordan. You just go, no it isn't. This is a movie about an icon.
But at the same time, it's going to have this great ensemble cast, bringing the Good Will Hunting guys back into the thick of things.
How do you like them apples?
Cast-wise, he seems to be on point, but in terms of his excessive reverence,
The greatness and excellence is because he's so enigmatic and majestic.
I'm only going to do it if Michael approves.
If you don't want me to do it, I just won't do it. Forget it. Like, just from a respect point of view.
He was doing this Hollywood commercial ass-kissing thing.
Kiss Shaq's ball dome too at some point.
I'm like, I hope the movie's right, because in terms of sucking up to Shaq like that, that's not how you get Shaq's respect. You got to be like Rodman.
Underneath, Rodman takes O'Neal down hard.
Rodman's on that basketball shit, not that commercial TV shit.
You go about this a commercial way now, so you're in that TV shit now.
But that's fine. Ben Affleck himself, in terms of can he pull it off, we know he's a man who can be great, but he can also be technically excellent. In more ways than one, it appears.
Who was better in bed?
Brad was like the sort of major chemistry love of your life. Ben was like technically excellent.
From that, you can already do a little Michael Jordan, LeBron James analogy.
LeBron might be in his own way equally excellent. He will never be nearly as great because Michael's performances... Michael! Oh my goodness!
Holy fuck!
The man who can be technically proficient, will he pull off a good film? The difference at the time was they announced a great ensemble cast, including Viola Davis. So coming into it, you're like, I didn't even ask for this movie. Oh, okay, it could be promising. That was the lead up to Air. From the jump, you're like, yeah, you've got Matt Damon, you've got Ben Affleck, but how good can a movie about Jordan be without Jordan? Viola Davis's contribution is probably what did bump it up from a 6 to a 7.
Congratulations. Okay, baby.
In terms of the film,
You can just tell me.
she does deserve a Best Supporting Oscar nomination for this performance. My only thing is, after already winning a Best Supporting Oscar for Fences,
And I ain't never wanted that for none of my children.
which was both a phenomenal movie and she herself was phenomenal, to Denzel's leading phenomenal.
Troy!
All right. That's strike 2.
I'm like, I don't know if she can win that. I don't know if she can actually win the award, but she certainly deserves it.
Multiple championships, final MVPs. I know my son.
In Fences, she's kind of Pippin-esque, the facilitator,
Pippen on a 2-on-1 behind the back.
to Denzel's kind of leading alpha-esque.
I know nobody's giving.
I take it, don't give.
You can hand yours over too, Troy.
In Air, she's more like the actual Jordan, making it all happen.
How are the parents?
Solid. She runs shit.
I'm not finished.
No, yeah, excuse me.
Whilst she's negotiating with great poised humility, but at the same time, unshakable confidence.
Michael will get a percentage of the revenue of the sale of each shoe that is sold.
Davis makes it not some Ben Affleck, Matt Damon vanity project, but an actual real film worth taking serious to a broader audience.
It won't be the NBA promoting my son. I promise you, it'll be the other way around.
In terms of Air's retroactive forecasting,
All-Star MVP, Defensive Player of the Year.
Sidney Moncrief is the Defensive Player of the Year. Adrian Dantley won the scoring title.
Dolores Jordan forecasting my son's going to win a scoring title and the Defensive Player of the Year award in the same year.
MVP, scoring title, Defensive Player of the Year. We had never seen a season like that.
Let's be real, how the heck would Jordan's mum know that in 84? That was such a unprecedented, monumental achievement in 88.
That's greatness.
Yes, it does feel shoehorned, but the point is, they've got to do something visceral for the audience to let the viewers know what this man would become. They're not putting Jordan in the film, so they've got to find a different way to kind of put greatness in there. It's kind of necessary shoehorning for the layman audience. When she says,
it won't be the NBA promoting my son, I promise you it'll be the other way around.
Again, more retroactive forecasting. The point is, oh my God, did he do that? And did he do that ever? He did bring the league to a global scale. In 96, UK-wise, Channel 4 got the rights to NBA basketball because the guy's in the league. Channel 4 in 96, I just remember My So-Called Life with Claire Danes. Ridiculously good show.
Angela? Mommy, I really need you.
Mom, it's all right. Go.
An NBA on Channel 4, that show with the Cockney guy going, this week we're in Chicago.
Welcome to the United Center in Chicago for the big game.
That was some 90s shit.
It was totally wicked, am I right?
He did become this kind of one-man, super marketable promotion entity.
Shoes! You sure it's not the shoes?
Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe.
In terms of the significance of the shoe, I can understand the criticism from people like Kermode.
In the end, and I'm sorry, it is a film about licensing the rights to somebody's image to sell a shoe.
It's a movie about some scouts signing a deal for shoes.
I need the greatest basketball shoe that's ever.
Purely from a cinematic point of view in terms of suspense, drama and the filmic arc.
I need the greatest basketball shoe.
It could seem a bit flat on the one hand.
And it was called Air.
On the other hand, the Jordans as well as the player, the shoes themselves were a cultural phenomenon.
Do you know? Step on my brand new white Air Jordans that I just bought.
Overall, was it worth making a film about the shoe? Yes. If it was a movie about making Reebok pump, then maybe we could have a bit more of a debate as to should you do it.
Pump up and air out.
If it's done right, as it was, you could make a film. Only you want the film to be its own thing, not just an advertisement for reselling shoes from 30, 40 years ago. That's my only issue with the Jordan shoe brand legacy. Is it overrepresented? It does make perfect sense, the way things have been over the past 10 years or so, to make a film about this shoe which has become so iconic.
You get a little something for each of these sold, don't you? Yeah.
Is it lionizing the legacy, over glorifying the legacy? They're dope footwear, but this whole modern era sneakerhead stuff where you're worshipping these shoes to the point of idolatry, queuing up at 8 in the morning to get shoes, to then maybe get assaulted for the shoes, get robbed for the shoes.
You gotta get a pair of Jordans.
I mean, that's what rich people do.
All on the strength of this Kardashian social media era celebrity self-indulgence. TJ Finance. Stop hating on the game, baby. Jay's a sick man. You have to be a money champion to be a sneakerhead, bro. I thought you were a guest list dude working in the financial district. I was executive vice president of global finance first impressions, but now I'm an influencer and guru sneakerhead, man. Oh, you mean you got fired from your receptionist job and now you're just living out some Peter Pan syndrome narrative? Shut up, man. People holler at me at the DMs because I've got the exclusive Jordan 1 Serena Williams Kendall Jenner edition. TJ, get out of here, man. Aging millennials selling some old ass Mr. T shoes to naive Gen Zs that were deemed uncomfortable antiques in the late 90s.
You put these shoes on there and put on some of them, and my feet are killing me. Innovation is taking a long turn.
Isn't any form of cultural ingenuity and nothing to do with the actual greatness of his Airness, who isn't in Air, let's just remember.
What rule do we violate here?
Well, it doesn't have any white in it.
Uh-huh. Well, neither does the NBA.
Hello?
In terms of Jordan not being in the film, essentially it is the right decision, but that was always going to be the thing that could potentially anchor it.
This is a movie about an icon.
My thing is, I don't know if he's too iconic to have someone play him, but he's too iconic to have somebody play him.
Enjoying my freshman year.
18.
I mean, if you look at the show Winning Time, they had some fictional actor playing Magic Johnson. But then there's a fast forward scene to 91 and you see him looking at a magazine of the real Michael Jordan. That taught me, oh, you can just about pull off having a Magic Johnson actor, but not a Michael Jordan.
Please, Michael, come back.
They done the best they could to work around it. You can have actors to play his mum and dad, but not him, so let's hide him.
Mr. and Mrs. Jordan.
My only thing is, I just know from a fan point of view, he's far too mouthy, even as a young kid, to be that silent in the meeting. He's always been cheeky and likes to tease people. Even if he compliments you, he's got to throw a little jab in.
If he's got to take half of it, I'll take the trophy, he may get the car.
I got enough cars, he can have the Nissan.
Michael.
You had Matt Damon doing a speech of speeches.
People are gonna build you up. God, are they going to? Because when you're great and new, once they've built you as high as they possibly can.
Is he pitching Jordan's greatness and forecasting his greatness to Jordan's mum?
A shoe is just a shoe until somebody steps into it.
It's almost as if he's kind of pitching to Minnie Driver in Good Will Hunting.
That's gonna last until next year. You're gonna be in here regurgitating Gordon Wood.
You're gonna be remembered forever.
That's how profound you've got to make his speech. To work around though, Jordan, that's cool.
Great speech.
It's a hell of a speech.
In terms of the believability of the parents, you can have actors play the parents but not the son. That kind of works. I remember in Space Jam.
You go to the hole and dominate. We on defense.
Yes, I know it wasn't Godfather-esque, but you had the real Michael Jordan. The meta thing was, you had the actress from Jungle Fever.
I do date black men, but I also date Chinese, Latino, Jewish, the full spectrum.
Playing a fictional version of the real man's wife.
Is everything okay?
Well, I stunk up the place.
Obviously it is a movie, so they've got to do this big, massive speech from Matt Damon, working around no Jordan.
You're Michael Jordan.
You'd think from that speech alone, the dude's gonna be with Nike for life and never go to Adidas. It's like, no, in reality, in '87, he was tempted to go.
He was unhappy with some of his early shoes and was getting close to leaving.
But of course it is a film, so you've got to wrap it up and tie it up in a nice bow from a filmic point of view.
We got him.
It's probably more appealing to competitive athletes.
Coming back to the actual stars of the film, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, it was a solid performance by Ben Affleck as Phil Knight, but a bit of a caricature.
I'm the boss. I'm the CEO of this company.
I do get that, however, because he is playing the boss, and the average person always resents the boss because they're the boss and you're not.
I'm the boss.
Yes, he is a hippie that turned corporate CEO.
There is no self. There's just the non-self. I'm the CEO of this company.
I do think the real Philip Knight wasn't full of shit.
Does the Dalai Lama have a grape-colored Porsche, Phil?
His kind of Zen stuff wasn't pretending to be a selfless, charitable humanitarian. It was about the just do it ethos. You want to go for a jog, just do it. You want to make shoes, just do it. I think the hippie thing was more be in the moment and just do it.
It's a moment. It's a moment. That's Zen Buddhism shit.
Rather than I am a charity man who doesn't care about monetary gain. You make a caricature out of him because he's the boss.
It takes 17 layers of paint to achieve that precise color of purple.
But I think in real life, he wasn't so bad. Just as the other Phil in Michael Jordan's life, Phil Jackson, wasn't so good. In terms of the breakup of the Bulls, no, it wasn't just Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf. The man who looks like he's auditioning for a role in Sleeping with the Enemy also contributed to the breakup of the Bulls.
I went to Phil and said, they'll offer him the opportunity to come back.
It's my time to go. It's the right time.
This is a good time to go.
Mr. Zen spiritual Phil Jackson himself
There is no self. There's just the non-self.
Wanted to go to LA for the razzmatazz.
In 1998, Jackson rejected a one-year contract offered by Krause.
Phil Jackson, the spin master, not the Zen master.
I know Phil Knight's got a bad rap for the sweatshops in China and this and that, but that's a corporate thing. Not that I support it, I'm just saying it is what it is. I'm saying overall, Phil Knight not so bad, Phil Jackson not so good, and I think Ben Affleck done a good solid role.
Are you trying to be an asshole?
Well, yeah, he doesn't look like the real Philip Knight in terms of an older version of Boris Becker, because that's how I remember Phil Knight looking, but at the same time, visually, that's a better representation visually than Matt Damon, an Anglo-American type, as Sonny Vaccaro, the real life guy who had a kind of Neapolitan Danny DeVito appearance. Looks-wise, but performance-wise, I love Matt Damon in this. It's not quite his best work, but it is Matt Damon going to work.
North Carolina.
You know when you get a feeling?
Oh, you knew he was gonna be good?
The rest of us just want a chance to touch that greatness. You're Michael Jordan.
5 seconds to go. Jordan off the glass. Yes!
That was get the ball, Michael. Everybody get the fuck out of the way. Go to the basket.
And your story is gonna make us want to fly.
It's basketball.
This movie is all about Matt Damon and Viola Davis for me.
You eat, we eat. That's all he's asking.
Back to square one, the movie's a little bit anchored by not being able to have Jordan. Again, I do feel like Affleck and Damon brought it into their own element and made it an entertaining picture.
It's gonna be worth every penny.
In terms of does this film overall as a movie work, there is no basketball in it, but again, it's a sports agent film, Jerry Maguire, not a basketball movie. He got game, white men can't jump. I'd say Viola Davis, Matt Damon are the stars, no Michael Jordan. The year 1984 becomes the star. From a soundtrack point of view, it totally works. The amount of money they must have spent on that soundtrack. Without that soundtrack, I don't know if the movie works. What I love about it overall, which I haven't said in the video up to this point, is it's the return of that mid-budget movie. The fact that they made sure it was a cinematic release before putting it on streaming on Prime. That's just something where I respect the living daylights out of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Matt Damon's been talking about that for years now, the mid-budget picture, the 20 to 30 million budget picture.
$25 million movie, technology has just made that obsolete. That's suddenly a massive gamble in a way that it wasn't in the 1990s.
Again, Ben Affleck has that kind of tendency to do that Hollywood stuff. You're a genius, you're a genius.
And also Matt's a fucking genius.
Relationship is with these icons and idols, like...
I get it, they're talking about somebody who's a modern day American icon. Regardless of all Michael Jordan's flaws in real life.
You can't be great at something, like, that doesn't give you the right to be a jerk.
They're making a movie where they wanna pay reverence to this big American cultural icon. I understand the intention for the film.
You're gonna change the fucking world.
Very happy to see Affleck and Damon back together. The ensemble cast also I haven't mentioned. The guy who plays David Falk.
And if you end up signing him, it makes me look irrelevant.
Some of it's a bit of a caricature.
I'll bury you alive.
Some of the other guys around them.
There's nothing cool about Nike. Even what it means.
Really brought a sense of an organic team trying to make this deal happen.
I need the greatest basketball shoe that's ever been made.
How long do we have?
Make a commercial out of it.
That's what made it work.
Fortunately.
Certain accuracies, inaccuracies, really that's if you're a sports fan. They say Jordan was 18 when he hit that shot when he was 19.
Why is the ball going to the 18-year-old skinny freshman?
Who cares, bruv? For me, it's the preservation of the mid-budget movie meshed with an ensemble cast where greatly anchored by no Jordan, but the thing does work overall. In terms of a rating, I'm still giving it 7.2, like I did when I first saw it at the cinema. Solid film. In terms of it being a basketball movie, it's more just a sports agent pop cultural movie. For me, overall, its legacy is, rather than trying to over-glorify the footwear, which don't need any glorification at this point, it's more a case of bring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck back together. There's potential in general to have a revival of the mid-budget movies. So that's my review number 2 on one film, Air. If you've made it to the end, feel free to like and subscribe.
18. Shot. Jordan.
And I'll see you on the next one.
Is this the shoe that the NBA wouldn't let you wear? Now, why wouldn't they let you wear it? Just because it's ugly?
I need the greatest basketball shoe that's ever been made.
When the Jordan 1 came out, we thought it was whack. Initially, like, corny people wore them.
Hey, I agree with you. They are ugly.